So, good morning. It is Sunday, last day in Luxembourg. It is miserably gray out. It was raining. It stopped raining. I checked the forecast. It's supposed to hold off raining, but I don't trust it. I think there might be some showers. I don't know what I'm going to do today yet. My plan, my hazy plan, is to, well, it was, before I realized how cold it is, it was to wander around for a couple of hours and just like see the sights one more time. But now I'm realizing how chilly and wet it is. I'm getting over a cold. I don't necessarily want to expose myself to chilly and wet. So I'm thinking I might, so the plan was to wander around and then find go to a brasserie that I read about for lunch. It's kind of like somewhere between Old Town and the train station. Train station's that way, Old Town's that way. And so now I'm thinking I might be lazy and find like a cafe somewhere nearby and then just post up there and avoid the water. The cold, the drippiness. See, because I'm already drippy enough here. Which is not very touristy, but honestly I've seen a good portion of what there is to see in like the Old Town anyway. So I don't feel like I'd be missing out. I was toying with the idea of doing a walking tour, but they start at 11, they end at 1, my train is at 2. I wouldn't have time to get something to eat in between. I'd feel really stressed about it the whole time. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't want to add stress to myself. So instead, I think I might just kind of take advantage of the first open, comfy seat that I find. I've got crosswords for days. I've got podcasts. I've got my wall charger, thankfully, so if I need to plug into a thing, I can. Yeah, it might just be a lazy Sunday afternoon in a foreign city. To give a sense of how cold it is, yes, that is snow on the trees. No, it will not last more than a couple of hours. I assume it'll be just warm enough to melt away over the afternoon, but it is that cold out, and it definitely encourages me to not stay outside for long. Okay, this is how out of practice I am at being a tourist, a solo tourist. I forgot that there are museums. I just googled museums in Luxembourg Sunday. Most of them are open, so I'm gonna, since I'm not doing the walking tour, I might as well try to learn something about the history of Luxembourg, so I'm gonna try to go to the National Museum. Apparently it's only like 5 minutes away from where I am, on this beautiful empty street. The city is empty today. It's fully empty today. I mean, there are people, but tourists. I just saw a bunch of tourists standing under like a tunnel, taking pictures of cars that were driving by. It felt very PI. It was very strange. But anyway, I have a better plan than originally. Well, better. I have a different plan than originally. It's possibly one of my favorite things about this museum so far. You can pull drawers out and look at stuff and then put them away. This is all currency, paper currency, francs and marks and money that was used. 1886, 1919, ooh, World War I. 1927 was the one for World War II. That's huge. That's the size of my hand. Oh, that one's not interesting. Coins. I would feel very strange drinking out of this. Like, the women who are subjugated to being bowl holders with their boobs fully out. And then this guy who's choking the spigot. These fish who are clearly in a fish shop. And these steaks who are just super drunk. And this guy who needs to be private. Like, this is a mess. I've never had this experience before. The floors are very creaky, by the way. Actually, maybe I should just stop moving for a second. I've never had this experience before. In most of the rooms in this museum, I am alone. It is a Sunday, which is like museum day. It's kind of gray and rainy, which means people would want to be inside. In like a cultured, like fancy, quote-unquote, city. And yet I'm the only one in most of these rooms. Look. Totally alone. Like, I think maybe I might be alone, other than the docents, I might be alone on this whole floor. Just mind-boggling. The museum is interesting. I'm not taking in much of the history history, just because like dates in my head kind of go blah. But one thing, they ask a lot of questions. It flashes, the text, it flashes between German and there. It's going to go off and then come back again in French in a second. I think they ask a lot of like, does it really? I'm not sure. There. Does Luxembourg need a national style? Mom. It's like asking a lot of like philosophical questions. Also, this museum has a strange layout. It's not like one clear path between the rooms. You go into one and there's like 3 different offshoots. You just have to memorize where you've been already. Which is tricky. Ah, there it goes in English now. Couldn't tell you. Oh, that's Athena. Alright, I found my area. This is my zone. Yes. There's another Athena. That's what you greet people. This is my area. Alright, here's how geeky I am. I looked at one of these things and I immediately knew it was the Muses. Okay, I was gonna say, there are only 8 around the edge though. There's one missing. Oh no, there's a middle too. Nifty. Okay, so Terpsichore, Melpomene, Talia, Euterpe, Clio, Urania, Polyhymnia, Erato, Calliope. Okay. It's not looking closely enough. That's Calliope with Homer. Even better. This thing is amazing. I'm starting to go deep underground. There's like 2 more subterranean floors. I feel like Indiana Jones. So, those in the back are definitely boars, because that's what you want to see in a museum about pottery. Alright, I am finished in the museum. As usual, I did it out of chronological order, probably because the layout of the museum is a little bit funny, but also because I go against the grain. So I started with like, I can't remember where I started. I'll have to go back and see it later. I started with like mid-history, like the history of, well no, I started with the prologue, the history of Luxembourg. So kind of like 1600s through 1900s, like basically World War II and a little bit after. And then kind of kept going up a little bit, so I saw some of the more modernity like issues. I saw the 18th century, 19th century furnishings, and then realized I missed archaeology, so I went back down to the basement, sub-basement, saw all of the Stone Age, medieval, everything, so much pottery, and then went back up to the Byzantine kind of Catholic, lots of Jesus paintings, and I saw my favorite painting that probably exists anywhere. I definitely look for it in the gift shop. Didn't have it. I'm very sad about it, but I have it recorded here, so it will stay with me forever. Came to lunch. I got the spätzle. I figured another local delicacy would be a good idea. My God, this is huge. This is so. I'm predicting I'm gonna eat 2/3 of it right now. Well, as I predicted, I could not eat the whole plate. There's a little dog looking at me. I could not eat the whole plate. I got about, I would say, halfway to 2/3 of the way through it. And when the waiter came to clear it, he looked at me like, "Are you crazy? You're not finishing it? Was it not good?" And I was like, "It was good." In my head, I'm just thinking, like, I'm just used to French portions where you eat, like, not that much. Also, like, spätzle, which is what I got, which is like a dumpling, so it's just going to expand in your stomach. So now I'm feeling it. But now I have to go back to my hostel, get my bag, and go back to the train station. So this is coming down to the end of it. But before I do that, I just want to say I'm in the lower part of the city now. Obviously, Vilot up there, Vilbas down here. I wish I'd come down here sooner. It's beautiful. I'm kind of dreading walking back up the hill because it was a bit of a deep descent going down. So I know it's going to kill me, especially post-eating. Maybe that means that I will sleep on the train. Fingers crossed.